Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mark Isaac Potter Presents. And I can assure you that I'm still Mark Isaac Potter. We're visiting today with a quite wonderful man who is completely obsessed with storytelling. He can tell you stories until the cows finally come home. He's quite delightful, and he lives in one of the states in the United States. I can't remember. Chime in here, Dick. Where do you live again?
Well, it would be between Milwaukee and Sheboygan, a little town called, between Port Washington and West Bend.
Now,
We're in the world,
what state is that in?
that would be Wisconsin.
All right, because they all know that I'm neurodivergent over here. I tell them every show. Yeah, but it just seems to be getting more severe as I turn 151 next week. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
I'm sorry.
So what the heck do we want to talk about now that we've spent all this time? I do want to find out about your group called My Living Legacy.
Mhm.
And I also need to know this is like a working meeting that we're going to make into a TV show because I honestly think that's very interesting to do. So like we're talking TV shop, like they get to listen in on something in the production. So you've got this show, you've got this program called My Living Legacy .net, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And you've done many shows, hundreds of shows, but you don't own them all, but you do own some of them, right?
Yes, I do. Right.
So
Mhm.
how many do you think you own?
Oh, I would say better than 50 different life stories.
Okay,
I've done a total of over 200.
okay, good. Now those, because we're talking shop here, so we're talking how to get these 50 videos out into the world. So you own them, where do they sit right now in the internet universe?
Right now, they're on my SD cards. Some are in the cloud, and
Okay.
others are in possession of the historical societies that I have been working with for the
Even
last.
even though you own them, they currently have them.
Yes.
All right. So the ones you have in the cloud and on the SD card, can you do you have a YouTube channel already or not?
Yes, I do. I have a YouTube channel I just opened up for that.
Okay. Do
It's
you use it? Do you use it?
Yes, it's called Richard Liersch at Richard Liersch. It's on the YouTube channel.
All right. Let me write that down. This is like I say, this is a completely working meeting that we're just going to turn into a
Sure.
TV show later. So your name is Dick, and sometimes you go by Richard. We should say that, I guess.
Yeah,
All
Dick
right,
is great.
Richard Liersch at Richard Liersch.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna. How? What should I put into Google to get that to pop up? Do you think
Well, you just go right to your YouTube channel and type
my
it in.
own one? Okay, and do
That
what?
should be, and just put in Richard Liersch at Richard Liersch,
All right,
and that should
I'm gonna go do that, right? Now that you said to do that, I am going to go physically do that.
okay.
Today, folks, today has been a frigging disaster. We have had we've been trying to get this show started for about 12 years. I'm kidding. Probably about 2 or 3 hours. I've been on the phone with Zoom. We've had 200 million, thousand, trillion, zillion problems. Um, so welcome to the explosion. All right, I'm going to go over to my YouTube channel. I can barely talk anymore. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to actually do what you said, Richard, to see if it works. I'm going to type Richard Liersch at Richard Liersch. It might just be at Richard Liersch, period, but I don't. Maybe I'll try that just because I'm
Give it a whirl.
Completely disobedient and disgusting as a human being. I'm becoming the Don Knox of the next generation here. All right, all right. Now I typed, huh? I'll be damned. Okay, I typed at Richard Liersch, which is the word Richard with Liersch, and your name will be on the screen when we do the show. And believe it or not, I got your YouTube with your lovely picture of you and your beautiful self.
Ugh.
It looks like you got 10 videos on here and you have 3 subscribers. So that's all good. That's a good. Now, are you able, Richard, to upload some of those videos that you own to your YouTube channel?
I can. What I'm trying to do is edit them down because a lot of times when I do a life story of someone,
Yeah,
it could be it could be an hour long. And so a
yeah.
lot of it is a lot of peripheral information.
Okay. So you actually do editing then too?
I can do a simple edit. I can do that.
All right, because I need, believe it or not, I need more editors in my group.
Um, I
So
do a backwards method of it, but I'm not a real editor.
no, I
There
know,
are,
but do you think, I know this is a sidebar. Judge, could we please have a sidebar? This is a sidebar, but would you be willing to consider helping me by editing a simple show?
I would probably ruin it for you. You'd probably
All right,
find yourself out in the back 40, uh, wishing you never did it. No,
all
I'm
right,
just,
all right,
I
all
don't have
right.
that
Well,
program.
it was worth a shot because I do need more editors because I got shows backed up from here to Chicago. So, all right. So no on the editing. Let me take notes here.
Yeah, you don't
No
want that.
on video editing. All right. So then, all right. So I'm on your channel. You're willing to upload. Do you have anything you can upload recently, like soon or not? What do
I
you
could
think?
probably, I could put maybe 10, 15 more on there.
Oh, that's plenty. No, I don't even need that many. Just pick like 3.
Did you
How long?
see the
How long?
gentleman?
We're both talking at the same time. That's probably not going to work.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, um, how most of the social media places that I post, because I want to turn around and post your stuff, they like things that are less than 28 minutes.
Definitely
Can you,
me.
huh?
Yes.
Can you make something that is 28 minutes or 28:30 or 27 in that neighborhood?
You want that whole lengthy, you want it all that length?
It doesn't, it's short. If it's better if it's even shorter.
I can do that. Yes, it's a lot
Yeah,
better.
you could take a clip that's 45 seconds long and put it up. It'd be even better. But it's just up.
I can do that.
So okay, good. So give me a very rough guess about when you could do 2 or 3 of those.
Another week or so, I could have those up for you.
All right, so good. So we're getting somewhere. All right,
Uh,
I'm gonna say 1 week. So today's the 16th. So a week is July 27th, 23rd. Can you do 3? Can you do 2? What do you think you can do?
I can do 3 for you. I want to pick out something really interesting.
And you're
So
gonna do them like they're gonna be like 45 seconds long or what?
about a minute and a half at the most, maybe less.
Okay. Okay,
I picked
3 videos. And I'm gonna say they're each 1.5 minutes. All right, we're making progress here, Richard, Dick, whatever you go by. I'm trying to get a sip of my, tell me a story, because I need a sip of my Mountain Dew diet here. Tell me a story. I know you're a lovely storyteller. I've lost your picture somehow because I got this other thing. Okay, I got to tell you guys, Richard and I have been talking to each other for how long now? A couple of weeks, a
Several
month?
weeks, yes, yeah, at least
Okay.
several weeks.
In that time, and I might as well say this now because Richard and I are going to work together probably for years till one of us croaks. I love this guy. He's a treasure. He's a treasure for our country. I can't even tell you. He he will tell you stories. You cannot get him to shut up. I have
That's
had
me.
to I've had to lie to him on the phone. I've had to say, Richard, I've got a meeting, or somebody just came in my room with a ski mask and an AK-47 to get him to stop talking. He has stories and more stories and more stories, etc. So now that I want to sip my Mountain Dew, which I'm probably not allowed to show on the screen, but it won't. There it is. Tell us a story, Richard, please. Tell us a
Okay,
story. Just he
all right,
says I can't think of one now.
all right, I can tell you one I
Oh,
related to you earlier.
okay, good. I love it. I love it. My learning disability makes it very pleasant to rehear a story.
Yeah, and we share the same disability of attention deficit disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so when we read, we have a problem, but when we write with like I hate to say it, never mind the word, but we write like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I'm good with swear words myself too. Hmm. Your your camera froze up temporarily. I think it's because I got a notice about another meeting. So, all right, you there? Your camera froze up temporarily.
yeah,
My side didn't, but yours did.
okay. Well, to tell you the truth, we're located in a country here where
Oh, internet may
there
not
is
be
not
as
a
good, or yeah.
yeah, we don't have phone internet at all here. I
What do
mean,
you?
a line. We live out in the country where there isn't a high-speed line at all.
Huh.
We're surrounded here. If I look for a mile, there isn't a house that you can see.
So what do you? How? What kind of internet system do you use?
I'm using my cell phone, US
Really?
Cellular. Yeah,
I've never known how to do that. That's called a hotspot, right?
yes, works wonderful.
All
And
right. So, okay. Can you
so,
tell us if you feel like
okay,
it, tell us a story? Otherwise, just tell us about you and Elaine, and
all
you don't
right.
mind me
Here's one.
mentioning her on the air, do you?
All right, here's a story out of my it was an excerpt out of a book I wrote, and it was about a man that owned a shop in Milwaukee, and he moved out to the country near us along Lake Michigan, and he built this
Okay.
beautiful big home.
All right.
And, and so I had to
Mm.
go over there, and my
Ugh.
dad would always volunteer me for something to do.
Okay.
So he said, "Why don't he ran into this fella at a restaurant, and the red said, I'm looking for somebody to help me, seed my lawn. This guy's got 5 acres of lawn to seed." He said, "Oh
Okay.
yeah, my son and his wife will come over and do that for you." Unbeknown to me, he's always volunteering me for things. So I go over and I meet this guy, Lloyd. And
Right.
Lloyd says, he said, well, he says, here's the yard. It's all black dirt and all of that. And he's got a home sitting right on Lake Michigan there. Beautiful ranch, just beautiful. Any rate, he says, just seed it. Okay. So Elaine puts in the seed in the spreader, and I'm starting to go down the line here. You got 5 acres, 6 acres back and forth. And he comes out, and it's a hot day. It was not about 90, what we usually have around here right now.
Right.
And he says, you look thirsty. I said, yeah, I'm really hot out.
Yes,
So
I'm thirsty.
he says, here, have a beer. I said, I don't drink. Okay?
Mm.
Beer doesn't go well with me. He says,
Mm.
that's all I got. He says, just drink this. So he
Mm.
gave me a couple of beers. So I'm going out there and I'm thinking, this is not good. I'm feeling too happy
Ha
with this.
ha ha.
So I'm going down this thing and I'm going back, and I got done with it. And And unbeknownst to me, I thought I did a great job. So about a week later, week and a half later, I get this phone call. He says, "What in the heck did you do?"
Ha, ha, ha.
Me. I said, "What's wrong?" He says, the whole lawn is going zigzagging all over the place. He says, "There's big bare spots everywhere you're going. You got to come back and do it over."
I love it. I love it.
So I go back and I straighten it all
That's
out,
cute.
some more
That's
seeds
cute.
on. So that was fine. I said, "Dad, don't volunteer me with this guy."
Yeah.
And so Lloyd calls me back one more time. He says, "Come on, I can't find anybody." He says,
Oh,
I
Lord.
got
Okay.
somebody that I got somebody, I got a hole in the front yard. He
Hmm.
just got done putting it in. So he asked me to fill in this hole by the house. And it's a ranch. So all the eaves come down to one spot, where
Right.
it rains. And he's just fill it in. I
Okay.
said, "Okay, I'll fill it in." I said, so Elaine comes over, she's filling
And
up the
now
room.
Elaine is your wife, we should explain, right?
Yeah, she's my wife. And I said,
Okay.
"Look," I said, "Lloyd," I said, "that's black earth. You can't fill in a 8, 9, 10 foot hole with black dirt, and expect it." I said, "You can't because it's soft. You got to put gravel in there and all of that." So
Okay.
I said, "Lloyd, I'll come back and I'll do it for you." "No," he says, "put it in that hole." And he was
Okay.
about, he was in his 85 or 90 years old, and he was very bone and determined. So, "Okay, Lloyd, I'll do it. Don't call
Ah,
me."
ah.
So I fill this monstrous hole up with black topsoil, and
Oh,
now it's done.
God.
3 weeks later, I get a phone call from his wife. She says, "Don't you ever come over here again."
Oh,
I said,
God.
I said, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" She says, I just had to call the fire department." She says, "My husband fell into that hole you did." I
Ah,
said, she says, "Yeah, he was walking around the side of the house, and you know that hole you filled up?
yeah.
It rained," she said, "and all the water came
Yeah.
down
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you warned him that it would sink like
went
that.
down." She said, "He was all the way up to his neck." She says,
Oh,
"I had to
geez.
call the fire department. He was like quicksand." She says, "It was all the way up to his neck in
Oh,
mud. He went right down." I
God.
said, "Don't ever call me again."
Ah, ah, ah.
I
Well, at
mean,
least you don't have to do any more work for him anyway. That's good.
I had one more job. He called me up and he calls me up and he says, "My buddy," he says,
Mm.
he owns a lumber company.
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
lumber company, and he wants me to fill up, to empty out a rail car of
A
all the things
rail car?
but yeah, a rail car full of siding. You know how you put siding on a house? 90
Yeah.
degrees, 90 degrees. And he wants us to unload a rail car full of, regular box car.
I know what you're talking about. I just that
It's
those things are
crazy.
big. Those things are
Oh,
big. That's a lot of stuff.
it did. And,
Jeez.
two 19-year-old kids. So
Hmm.
anyway,
Wow.
we emptied it out. So he's standing there and he wanted me to go over to his office. And Don, my buddy, had to back the car up, his truck.
Okay. Yeah.
So, he's really old now. Remember this. So,
Yeah.
so Don backs up the truck, this big truck, and moves alongside of him. And he's looking at Don. And he says, "Okay, back it up some more." I said, "No, he's here." He says, "No, back it up some more. You're doing a good job." "No, no, no." I said, "Lloyd, he's standing here in the truck. He's not in it. There's nobody driving." He says, "Yeah, you're doing a good job." I'm
Ah,
thinking,
ah, ah.
this guy's out of
Oh
left
my
field.
God.
Oh, I could not believe this guy.
Oh boy. So you're saying that the truck was backing up by itself.
No, he was
He
out
was
of the
not
truck.
in it.
No, he was standing right alongside of him. He had told him to go back up to the truck, and Lloyd is guiding a truck that's no longer anybody in it. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And I mean, this is the
Oh
same.
Lord.
My buddy and we used to do some strange things together. I remember one time we went down by the lakefront right near his house there, and we wanted to
Right.
see what it was like when a bullet would go over our heads.
Oh
You know,
geez.
it's
Are
so.
you are you serious right
I'm
now?
serious. Oh yeah. So we
Oh
were
God.
behind two rocks there, and I mean to tell you, we were shooting shotgun shells across each other's heads.
Oh God Almighty.
Okay, I'll tell you one more story.
Okay,
You
I
want to
got.
hear?
I got. let's save it. Let's save it for next time
Okay. Remind me of
because
shotgun. Okay.
I wanna use a little bit of time in each show to say a little bit because we have 5 minutes plus maybe 1 or 2 minutes for me to close out.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about this special project you've been working on it now for 40 years, you said?
Yes. Uh-huh.
It's called My Living Legacy, right?
Dot, dot net.
.net. Now, what is My Living Legacy? Give us a thumbnail of what it is. What is it?
Okay. How it started out, and I'll be real quick here. I interviewed my dad,
Okay.
and I think I
Well, what
told
year
you
would that have been?
that was probably in the 1970s, I think it was. It was when
Okay.
television first came out, portable TV, you could do this. So I'm asking Dad to tell me his story. So I
Okay.
got
His
something
life
that I can,
story. Okay.
yes, haul out this big Panasonic
Right.
camera,
Right.
aim it at him, put on a
Yeah.
tripod. Tell me your story. So he's telling me a story about a guy that pulled into a station and asked him to park it for a week on the rack.
A
Down,
TV, garage, auto,
yeah, water repair.
yeah, what you're calling a gas station.
Yeah, it's a service station. It was about
Kids nowadays
1930.
don't know what a service station is, so we got to clarify.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so it's a place where you used to get gasoline, and they would also do auto repair.
yep.
Oh, he went in there and he did what now?
So he asked my dad to put it up in there. He pays my dad in advance. And he says, just leave it up there for a week and I'll sit here
Huh,
in the corner and wait.
I'll
Oh,
be
he sat
darned.
there. So,
He asked him to put it up on the rack for a week.
yep, just put it up there for a week.
Okay,
And
now the
so,
rack, kids, the rack is what you do when you work on a car is you put it on a metal rack, which initially is on the ground, but there's a
mhm.
bar that raises that rack up so you can walk underneath the car and work on the underside of the car.
Yeah, and it
So
was a
that's
high
what that
speed,
is.
it's a high speed Ford.
A
So this is
high
in the
speed
30s.
Ford, the model of
Yeah,
the car.
like a Model T or Model A, not a Model A, but it was a speedster.
Okay, okay,
So
good.
he's sitting there in the paper, and I'm trying to make a long story short if I can here.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
he's
know.
sitting there watching this, reading this paper in the corner of my dad's station. And every
Right.
noon hour, he'd go down to this restaurant and meet his Indian girlfriend.
Okay.
Dad's relating this, and I got this on the camera here. And he said on a Friday, he walked up to him, he says, you know, you look a lot like John. And I said, I want my car down right now.
Ah,
Dad lowers the car down, and about 5 minutes later, he hears the sirens go off.
okay.
And the guy said, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. At any rate, the sirens go off, and here they are at an Oriental Theater in Milwaukee here. And here they were raiding an apartment where John Dillinger was staying.
Oh my God.
Dad had John in there for a week.
And
Never bothered
what
him.
year was this again?
1930s, early 30s. This was when
Huh.
he was on the run.
Okay. Wow. Oh wow.
So
Jesus.
yeah, that was so I said, Dad, you got any more stories? This is the beginning of my whole thing here. He
Yeah,
says, yeah,
yeah.
I went to flight school. Grandma and grandpa sent me to flight school at Lambert Field in St. Louis from
Your
Milwaukee.
sent your father, your grandfather sent your father to flight school.
Yep. So he said,
Okay.
these guys are going down there at this field, Robertson Field, he called it. And he said, they'd steal airplanes at night, crash them, fuel, take everything and just leave it a mess. And he said they were the most hated group of kids that were instructed in the field. So anyway,
Okay.
and my roommate, he said, next to my room there was the most hated guy of them all. I said, who's that? He says, Charles Lindbergh.
I'll be darned. Charles
So,
Lindbergh?
so yeah, Charles Lindbergh.
What now, Richard, what year would that have been?
I don't know. But Dad said it was before he made his flight. Before he made that flight already.
What, like before World War II or what?
Yeah, it was after that. It was in the
That was
30s.
after World War II?
Yeah. Oh no, it was before World War II. So it's when he's
Okay.
doing all this flying around as a postman.
Wow.
So Dad said he stole this whole group. So at any rate, I started recording life stories after that as a hobby. Then I went into a small business, and then I've been video recording life stories ever since. And so to make a long story short, I started developing a website teaching people how to do it.
Okay.
And Costco Corporation called me one day, and
Costco?
Costco, the food company,
Yeah, yeah.
they called me up and they said, Mr. Liersch, he said, I see you have a website teaching people how to record life stories. And they said, I'd like to put that in our magazine called the Costco Connection.
Okay.
I said, fine. He says, I got to interview you first and I'll get back to you. 2 weeks later, I thought that was all done with, never done anything about it.
Right.
Called me back and he said, I'm putting it in the magazine, your story.
Okay. Good. Praise the Lord. That's good. Okay.
So he
All
said,
right.
that's
So
cool.
go
It went
ahead.
all over, it went all over the world.
Oh, all right,
I
ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. For now, we're going to try our damnedest to do another show here in a little bit, but I got to take a pee break. And Richard, I'll try to call you on the phone, but I'm going to need a few minutes. I might even try to grab some lunch.
Man,
Uh, I don't know if we can cram in another show before noon because I have a noon meeting I have to attend. So are you available this afternoon?
I sure am.
All right, let me just it's 11 a.m. here at Pacific time. We're gonna end the show. We're running a little late on the show, but I'm trying to cut it off, folks, because we can't go over 29, 28, 29 minutes. So we're gonna do another show later in the day. You guys will see him eventually. Richard, we love you. You're great. I don't care what your neighbor a mile down the road is saying about you. Doesn't matter to me. All right. So you take care, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.
See you later.
Richard, say hi to Elaine for me, and I'll talk to you sometime this afternoon. Probably
Okay.
12:31, 2, somewhere in there. And we'll try to get one or two more shows in the door, in the can, as we used to say back in the 1930s. All right. I'm going to end the recording. All right, folks, I'm trying to push the ending recording button here. Stop. It says over here.